1. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Welcome to another episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to talk about different types of FOIAs, when to use them, and how they can help you. Okay? And so thank you for being here, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. I really appreciate that. And so remember, the Empowered Immigrant Live is here to train, teach, inspire, and empower immigrants to make the most out of immigration law and to make the most out of their lives. So today our theme is what are the different types of FOIAs, how to use them, and how they can help you. Okay? And my question for you is, do you want to get a green card this year or to apply for one this year? Do you want to come out of the shadows? Do you want to at least understand what immigration options are available to you? Because if so, go for it. I'd love to help you with that. My firm is on a mission to win 10,000 immigration cases in the next 10 years, and we would love for your case to be one of them. Okay? As I'm talking about this theme today, if you have questions about your situation or your case, and if you want to submit that question, please do so in the chat or in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer that question as best as I can here live. Okay? And if you don't feel comfortable doing that publicly live, no problem. Reach out and we can go through our consultations process. That's what consultations are for as well. Okay? So thank you all so much for being here. As always, I want to start with a brief empowerment tip, and then we'll move into our topic. So my empowerment tip today is a tip for myself, but also for each of you listening, and that is to take ownership. Okay? When you have results happening in your life, it does not help you at all. It doesn't help anyone to blame someone else. Okay? Like, don't blame someone else. Instead, take ownership of it. Own your own results. Consider that those results have derived in some way, shape, or form from your own actions and your own inactions, from your own attitudes or from your own beliefs. Okay? And so when you do that, when you take ownership of your results and of where you're at in your life, you empower yourself to think differently. And you start to ask yourself, it's not who should I blame for this? No, it's what different actions, what different attitudes, what different beliefs could I change that might lead me to better results? And then you can try those. Try those and test them and measure them and see if they really worked. And if they didn't really work, then you can change course, right? We have the power to choose, right? And so then we can choose a different set of actions, a different set of beliefs, different set of attitudes that we can test to see if they lead to better results, and so on and so forth. If you follow that methodology, that is the way that you can be empowered to find the way that works, to create the success that you want for your life. All right? It starts with taking ownership. Don't blame someone else. Think of how your own attitudes, beliefs, actions, and inactions have caused your results. And then once you do that, now it's like, hey, you can find a way to change the result. Change the result by changing one of those areas of your life. Okay? I wanted to share that today. I hope that's useful. I hope that's helpful. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and welcome to another episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. So today we're talking about FOIAs, and really we're talking about what are the different types of FOIAs, when to use them, and how they can help you. Okay? So to get back to the basics, what is a FOIA? What does that word even mean? And we've talked about this in multiple episodes on our podcast. but they're so important, right? They're so important for an immigration case. So you got to know, a FOIA stands for the Freedom of Information Act. And that act, that law, gives people, all people, not just U.S. citizens, all people, the right to access information that government agencies have on your case. Okay? And so this is like a tool, it's a basic tool that good lawyers will use to make sure that we understand the evidence that the government is looking at, to make sure that we understand, we do our due diligence, right? We do our research so that we understand what's going on in the past and whatever information appears in the government databases so that we can fully prepare, right, to maximize your chances of success. We want to be able to clarify or contest or challenge or explain any weird issue or error or anything else that might cause a problem in those records. Okay? Because as I've said before, sometimes government officials make mistakes. And so we need to request the records, read through them carefully, find them, right? Find any mistake that might be in there or any issue that might be in there so that we can best clarify and correct the record. Okay? This is a method that helps us maximize our clients' chances of success. All right, so now I want to get into, what are the 6 departments? What are the 6 FOIAs that we run? And so thank you for tuning in. So FOIA number 1 that we run is to USCIS. Okay, USCIS FOIAs are perhaps the most common immigration FOIAs. They're also often the most informative. I highly recommend, at the very least, doing your USCIS FOIA. When you request it correctly, when you do it the right way, you ask USCIS to send you a copy of the entire A file, your entire alien registration file, all right? And when you do that, it gives you a copy of every immigration benefit you've ever applied for and all decisions associated with that case. Sometimes we can even see notes, sticky notes even, of the officer saying, hey, this is an issue for them, or don't approve this case because, or whatever. I've seen mistakes in those sticky notes from the officer come up inside of the USCIS FOIA. Okay, so that's FOIA number 1. The second FOIA that we request is from ICE, United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Okay, ICE keeps records of immigration detention, deportations, encounters with immigration enforcement officers. Okay, running those FOIAs can be especially useful if there's an immigration warrant outstanding for someone's arrest, right? We want to know that. We want to advise them about it. Hey, let's be cautious because immigration is looking for you, right? If we want to know, we always want to know that, which is why we run those FOIAs, okay? And sometimes when there's ICE issues, sometimes running the USCIS FOIA, they will forward their FOIAs to ICE, so it makes the physical request easier. But it's another piece that we want to make sure to review and make sure that is requested, before filing some, depending on your circumstances, the application that we want to file for you. Okay. So FOIA number 3 is from Border Patrol. And this is Customs and Border Patrol, CBP, we call it. And there it's like we want to see if you've ever been caught crossing the border, detained, questioned, etc. CBP will keep those records and we want to access them. They can have a big effect on your immigration options. Okay? FOIA number 4 goes to, we call it OBIM. OBIM, O-B-I-M. It stands for the Office of Biometrics and Identity Management. all right? This is the department that manages every time you go in to get your biometrics taken, all right? Every time you've been fingerprinted by the Department of Homeland Security. Now, that might be with ICE, that might be with Border Patrol, that might be with USCIS, might be all of the above, okay? But we want to see every single time that the government has run your fingerprints, that's a helpful method to see, okay, there's these issues that we should be aware of, okay? Because the immigration officers will be seeing that information also. FOIA number 5 is really, it's not so much a FOIA, it's a criminal record search. And we do this to both the FBI and the Department of Justices of any state where you've ever been arrested. Okay, not an immigration FOIA per se, but it's still super important. And we do that, we run your fingerprints through the FBI database to see if there's any history of arrest in any state federally. All right, and that's or if there's any, you know, sometimes there's even like other things might show up, an Interpol hit, or you know, a deportation records sometimes show up in the FBI database, and so super important to run those searches, because we want to know, especially if it's like incorrect, we want to know what's out there. And we want to fully understand, you know, and then using that, sometimes we can follow up with a specific county courthouse to get all of the records, you know, but the FBI is huge to pointing us in the right direction of locating any potential red flag that might be out there on your case. Okay? And finally, number 6 is a FOIA through the State Department or the Department of State. Okay? And we run that when a person, like if you have ever submitted an application for a visa at an embassy overseas, then you can request those records. You can request those records through a Department of State FOIA, and this can help you so that you're consistent, right, with how you responded to the questions in that application, or if there was an error or some kind of problem or a denial of a visa application overseas, we want to access that so that we can help you navigate how to deal with that in your future case. Okay? So those are the 6 FOIAs. Those are them. All right? And that's basically all I wanted to go through today. And so if you have questions, you know, please submit them. And really, the bottom line is we want to run FOIAs, and in our firm, we say FOIAs first, right? We want to run FOIAs first, and we recommend doing FOIAs first because they help us, one, make sure that there's no red flag against you, make sure that you're eligible for the immigration benefit that we're seeking. But 2, it allows us to make sure we're on the best strategy, right? It allows us to strengthen your case and to find the best strategy and to make sure we're maximizing your chances of success. And that's the bottom line. You know, there is some risk to not doing those FOIAs first because, you know, we really do want to maximize your chances of success. And it's just one of the tools in the immigration lawyer's toolbox to help us do that. Okay? So that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for being here. I don't see that I've received any questions, so that's completely fine. For everybody that's tuned in here on Instagram, thank you so much. Angel, I see you here, and Rosie, hello, and Judith, hello, and Luisa, hello, and P. Perez, GI, hello. Great to see you all here on Instagram, and to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, hello and welcome. Thank you all so much. If you do still have a question that you want to submit to us, please still do that. And I can record a video, upload that to my YouTube channel. The best way to see that is to please go to our channel in YouTube, Land or Home Immigration. All right, in YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And when you do that, I also recommend hitting the notifications bell in YouTube, and you can receive a notification whenever we upload an additional video with additional updates, news, things of that nature. And as always, if you have an immigration case, hey, please give us a call. We would love to help you. We're here to help you. Our consultations team is amazing, and we'd love to have you go through our consultations process so that you can get the service that you need, deserve, and are looking for. Okay? So thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Again, my name is Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration A.P.C., where we fight for your American dream. And I'll see you next time on our next episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. Thanks a lot. Take care.